Peace, love. Shout outs to all the clients at Emotions Made Easy for supporting the program and supporting yourself and finding yourself through voice notes and phone sessions in relevance to using mental telepathy. Me and my lady are having fun with all you guys and just genuinely helping you achieve what you thought you couldn't. So shout outs to the clients at Emotions Made Easy. Shout outs to Fire Safety Made Easy and all you guys graduating from the course using the study guides that we have. Quick, easy, simple. Shout outs to you. Much love, much peace. Let's do this. Let's get right into it. Narcissism. I know that a lot of you women have been waiting for this and for somebody to kind of break it down from a space of where you can relate, because a lot of women don't understand that they're dating narcissists and that they attract narcissists because they are narcissists, and they learned that. That's a learned trait. Yeah. So let's get into it. What are early signs of narcissism in men, and how can women spot them dating? So early signs of narcissism in men may include excessive self-focus. He's very egotistical. Lack of empathy. He has no empathy because he's never received it, or so he thinks. And a sense of entitlement. They feel like you owe them, right? The whole idea of owing anybody is crazy, especially coming from a time where slavery existed. But anywho, women can spot these traits by observing how the man interacts with others. So I want you guys to understand this, right? In order to spot these traits, you have to understand that you have to become comfortable with seeing them in you, okay? The only reason why you're triggered is because every time you practice these things casually, your spirit gets agitated. Anything that's not empathetic, your spirit will chastise you because your spirit is built from spiritual integrity. If you look at a kid, like I'm having a child, genuinely, shout outs to Asani and my beautiful lady and my dog. But if you look at a kid, when a kid is genuinely a spirit and knows nothing of society or this earth, politics, Republican, Democrat, look how innocent they are. So these are traits that motherfuckers learn. Right? Now, where were we? Women can spot these traits by observing how the man interacts. I'ma just go. Anywho, you gotta understand that these things are in you first of all, and when you can handle them with self-care and love and relevance to you, and self-awareness and mindfulness, you'll be able to spot those in people. When a kid was young, right, they were genuinely spirit until they got to see all these things. So when they get to a certain age and they learn more about adulthood, they're challenged to either keep their spirit or become fully human, right? Me, I decided to become both. That's where you're supposed to get. You're supposed to polarize it, right? Thus me, it's going to be a beautiful time being a dad with a beautiful lady, and because home is where the heart is. So I have a beautiful lady that I understand and I'm willing to understand more about. I'm willing to fail, lose, win, because I truly understand that love is just all about loving and loving harder. Beautiful dog taught me so much. But, so you understand the mental telepathy. You're only attracting this because you haven't fully challenged this in you. Yeah? Okay, so women can spot these traits by observing how the man interacts with others. Yeah. Look at how, watch him in his vulnerable states, in his comfortable moments. If he's learned to be comfortable with this aspect, you got a lot going on, right? I think that you might want to sit down and have a conversation with yourself first so you don't come off as defensive. Because if you approach and confront triggers in someone else and not you, you're like automatically judging them. That's why when it comes to self-talk, we lose the judgment. And if we do judge, we judge from a special space where there's no irrational energy behind it. Like, you're not mad at yourself. And you will be angry because you're challenging what you're comfortable doing. And that's okay because it's for good reasons. This is good hurt. How he talks about himself, watch that. Because a lot of times they're so good at being it that they don't even realize that subconsciously they're giving off narcissism. They're giving off being a narcissist. A lot of times what I've seen, motherfuckers can't really see what they do because they never self-reflect. So make sure you're self-reflecting before you get to confronting somebody in relevance to self-reflection, because it won't come off as confrontational if you did it with you first. Be genuine to yourself, self-care, self-love, better self-talk. And his response to feedback or criticism while dating. My lady told me something funny. She read this book and she was like, the guy had said, when you go to a date or set up one, come late on purpose. A lot of narcissists don't have patience. They don't play the long game. Honestly speaking, when they're in it for the cuchita, they tend to get real good at it because they may be using intimacy and sex and that vibe of the butterfly aspect of going after sex or going after what they're trying to achieve as a coping mechanism, right? A lot of men also look at women as trophies, but that's a whole nother conversation. So watch his response to feedback or criticism while dating him. If he's quick to like, he hasn't really spoken to himself and he has a lot going on. See, that's why I said you have to look within yourself before you confront these things. If not, take a moment from the dating scene, especially if you got kids and especially if you got a daughter. Take a moment from the dating scene and start to date yourself. Shout outs to my lady, she told me that. Date yourself. But it's kind of logical. Date yourself is spiritual, logical, and mental, and psychological. You want to attract a better version of yourself, the polar opposite. So you have to start looking within you. Okay, how can women test for narcissistic qualities in men before getting too involved? Now, this is key. I need you guys to understand this is very much so key, because a lot of you guys are dating, right? And you may even have daughters that are potentially going to be dating too, right? Love is inevitable, right? You need to know this, so let's dive into it. Women can test for narcissistic qualities in men by paying attention to how he treats others. How does he treat his mom? How does he treat his daughter? How does he treat women subconsciously? Look out for that. Does it seem like he has a love-hate relationship? Is he suppressing aspects of anger? And I can speak like this. I've never been at this full state. I was a narcissist myself, but I never made it to level 5. Level 1, saw it, didn't want to be it, fuck that, experienced it, didn't like what I was receiving. So I gave up on that quality and I challenged it. Thus me not fucking with narcissists now. I don't fuck with those type of people. Or excuse me, or if you're trying to be a better person and you're a recovering narcissist and you're becoming a better man, then maybe we can fucking talk. If not, call Emotions Made Easy, because we do have clients with that type of mental disorder. How he handles disagreements or conflicts. One thing I noticed, right, is that at one point in the early stages of my relationship, I had adapted a trait of me being a man, and I kind of intellectualized the idea of it. And I think that's where narcissism comes from. So being a man is not about being domineering or being a megalomaniac or being a narcissist or a psychopath. It's actually about knowing yourself enough through unpacking and unlocking, doing the things that men are actually afraid to do. A motherfucker go shoot somebody, hop in a car with four motherfuckers he don't know, he just met in the gang today from the other department of the organization. But when it comes to unpacking and unlocking their feelings, they're afraid to do that. Women can sense that because they're very good at unlocking and unpacking their feelings. They're just learning how to be structured with it. And a lot of men need to learn that their structure and women are energy. So you need a woman in your life not only because she's the polar opposite, but if you expect to add any energy to your structure, like imagine science without spirit. Doesn't make any sense. Quite boring. Imagine business with no creativity. So you start to understand. But I realized that I was a man and I felt as though I should have the first say. Sit down, have a conversation for those of you for those men that don't really understand how to handle conflict resolution. You need to handle it in yourself first. And to those of you women that are triggered by it, you have to sit with yourself too. If you've sat with yourself and realized that that's something you don't like, and you started to do your self-reflection, you'll end up kind of subconsciously knowing what to say when it comes to confronting somebody in relevance to how he handles disagreements and conflicts, because you're in it to win it. You have to understand you're trying to develop a relationship, sustain, get married. You want him to have the will to do that. I'll be marrying my lady in a few because she's amazing. Been with her for 14 years. And that's not the reason. It's the idea that I've learned her and she's learned me, and she's willing to learn more of me as I'm willing to learn more of her. And that's what you call the definition of being in love. A lot of people are loving, but they're not in it. They're not committed to it. Thus me having a beautiful baby boy, even through an aspect of a misconception and a miscarriage, we're still here. Shout outs to Asani. And even raising my dog genuinely without hitting him to discipline him. Like, dogs are emotional. Let's start there. Dogs are emotional. Learn how to understand when he does something bad. Give him the emotion of, hey, I didn't like that. And train him. You know what I'm saying? Do a treat system. Where there's a will, there's a way. If there's no way, you have no will to weigh it. All right. They can also observe if he has a tendency to manipulate or control situations. And this is what I'm talking about in relevance to the domineering aspect. Some men find it hard to not be in control. And this leads into the idea of not being okay with uncertainty. This is why a lot of men suffer mentally. And if you're one of them, call Emotions Made Easy. We handle clients like that. My thing is this, right? You can't control everything. If you watch that movie called The Butterfly Effect, you start to realize, oh shit, look at him trying to go back in time and change things so they're less traumatic. But you have to understand that life happens for you, not to you. And that'll help you understand that I don't have to manipulate anything. The only thing I have to do is manipulate my energy to do things that are genuinely empathetic. That means that I have to manipulate my subconscious to be a better person because the person I was is not helping my well-being. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Is there a pattern in attracting narcissists, and how does self-awareness play a role? There may be a pattern in attracting narcissists if someone repeatedly finds themselves in relationships with individuals who display narcissistic traits. Self-awareness plays a crucial role in breaking this pattern, as it allows individuals to recognize and address any underlying issues or vulnerabilities that may make them susceptible to attracting narcissistic partners. I know you guys understand the law of attraction. If you're broke and you feel broke, you will forever attract broke. If you don't want to win, you will forever attract that. But then again, winning is a concept depending on the game. Unpack and unlock, you'll be okay. But the idea is this. You need to understand mental telepathy. A lot of the things that you're judging people for is because you see it in yourself. You wouldn't be able to notice it or acknowledge it, more so notice it from a place of judgment if you hadn't gone through it yourself. Look into mental telepathy. I'll do a video on that too. If you hadn't gone through it for yourself. So we're not only looking and pointing fingers at narcissists, we're saying, hey, you, woman, man, if you're a narcissist, you attract that. So now it's time for self-awareness and self-reflection. It's time to be vulnerable with yourself enough to say, hey, listen, I am a narcissist and I'm willing to watch videos like this, do Emotions Made Easy, just to dive in, or even do a simple talk, a let's talk, and dive in for 10 minutes in relevance to self-reflection on why I have these qualities. It may be from childhood trauma. You may have seen your father or mother displaying these mental disorders, but they never knew what it was. Like my mother never knew what emotional intelligence was. No shade to my mom. I love her dearly. She's amazing. And there's no entitlement involved. She's amazing. Makes me smile. I make her smile. She's fucking amazing. Shout outs to her for doing an amazing job. Life happens for me, not to me. Now, and heal if you have any understandings and relevance to that. And if you just don't fuck with your mom, don't fuck with your mom. Listen, I'm all for it. Do what's best for you. But the idea is this, right? You have to look yourself in the mirror or sit down with a friend that is willing to relate and not trauma bond and ask yourself, where is this connected to? What part of my childhood did I learn this through osmosis? Because a lot of kids learn things just by watching. A lot of you parents would be like, sidebar, a lot of parents would be like, oh my God, how do you learn that? Motherfucker, he learned that from you. He was watching you. You're way more passionate about manipulating men or manipulating women than you are about playing baseball or getting your nails done. Because you're still in the survival paradigm, which you can get out anytime you want to. Emotions Made Easy to help you. But it's the idea that there's no accountability from the parent, and now the kid is being judged, probably around the age of reason, probably like 7. The kid is being judged from a space of, by the way, mental telepathy once again. But because the parent is older, bigger, taller, has more experience than this 7-year-old, he's subjected to a bunch of hate and criticism in relevance to a quality that mom and dad has, but they act like though they can't see it. You know what I'm saying? All right. So just to sum it up, there's a pattern just for you to realize it. So don't be mad about there being a pattern in relevance to who you attract. Listen, you're supposed to go through life, learn, see it, go through it enough times. Some people make it, blah, 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 still subjective. But for you right now, look at yourself and find out, hey, listen, why am I attracting narcissists? Why am I a narcissist? Why do I enjoy being something that is bad for my health, that is not empathetic to others? Yeah? Crossing other people's boundaries and not caring because I'm more focused on entitlement and egotistical aspects of myself and even delusional grandeur. Yeah? Which is when you act like you here and in reality, you ain't nowhere, motherfucker. We all trying to make it. Yeah. Okay, next question. What psychological factors may contribute to consistently attracting narcissistic partners? Psychological factors that may contribute to consistently attracting narcissistic partners could include low self-esteem. A lot of us don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe that we can do better than the person we are. Sometimes we're blinded. Love is blind. Shout outs to Eve. But sometimes we're blinded by the idea of love or the fantasy we created. You have to understand that mastery does not consist of abnormal visions or fantasies. It basically consists of you transmuting lower vibrations to higher vibrations. So if you're a fearful person, you want to slow down your hyperactivity and do more action from a space of patience, because what you experience during fear is hyperactivity and also inaction. So you just have to do the opposites of those just to make it out of purgatory. So low self-esteem is a big deal. And if you're trying to build your self-esteem, what you can do is go to Emotions Made Easy and sign up like all our clients and tell them that's what you want when you go through the consultation. Because honestly speaking, you deserve to be confident, but you also deserve to understand the premise behind confidence. You have to experience things from a space of mindfulness, self-awareness, and actually do your shadow work, do your internal work. A lot of you need to understand that you have to go left to go right. You have to unpack and unlock the left-hand side so you can actually get to the right. And then after that, you accept uncertainty and the unknown. And you'll always become more confident. Here's the funny thing. If you're watching this video, just know that magically the floodgates will open and you will have a higher self-esteem after seeing this. Because you can make it. Excuse me. A history of being in dysfunctional relationships, and I've been in one. Shout outs to my lady, because we've grown through so fucking much. I just want to let you know, 14 years, and I'm about to get married, and I did it in my own time, also my lady's time. We never rush love. Don't rush love. Don't. Because everybody goes through dysfunctional relationships, but nobody wants to talk about it because they're scared to look different. And this is the delusional grandeur I'm talking about. Everybody has issues, and everybody is out here trying to cover their issues. This is like social media. Everybody on social media is happy. Everybody has aspects of low self-esteem, but if they get enough likes, they're amazing. They start even moving in public like they are on social media, and come to find out it's just delusional grandeur. Without those likes, who are you? Who are you when you sit with yourself? When you turn the phone off, like Denzel said this, Denzel Washington, turn the phone off for a second. Turn the TV off. I have moments where I actually had to go through aspects where I had to just cut off my notifications on TikTok, Instagram. I'm not really a social media guy. I'm into marketing because I run business. And sometimes even when I'm at home, me and my lady would just sit down there and have conversations naturally, and the TV would just be off. Because honestly speaking, we need to tell each other our vision, tell a vision. So we talk to each other. But everybody's going through aspects and they don't want to share it. And I'm here to tell you that if you were in a dysfunctional relationship or you are in one, you can make it. And shout outs to you for making it through. Don't attract another one. Self-reflect. Make sure that your self-awareness is intact so you can attract the right thing for your life. You're gonna reproduce. And you don't want to bring a beautiful spirit into this world and they have to go through the same aspects as you. So if you are attracting dysfunctional relationships or in one, you need to connect that thread to childhood trauma and see what was going on and forgive your mom and forgive your dad. So you can open up that version of your higher self that no longer attracts dysfunctional relationships. Yeah, you can do it. Or call Emotions Made Easy. They'll help you. Now, we'll help you actually. So, where are we? All right. Low self-esteem, psychological factors, a history of being in dysfunctional relationships, or a lack of boundaries. I see a lot. Listen, I went through this idea too. You know, confronting and challenging my boundaries. Sometimes you got to take a minute and just stare. There was this drunk guy on the train, right? And for me, I just don't like that type of energy. So I got on the train, with intentions to, write my raps, check out my new song, by the way, or just unpack or read Robert Greene, Human Nature. And this motherfucker does one of these. What the fuck is that? I'm like, immediately alarmed because I come from the hood. I'm from Brownsville, Brooklyn, grew up in Canarsie, raised in Barbados. I'm just from the world. So I understand, like, I can read energy, right? And I'm triggered by certain energy because, we always get the urge to match, but I'm learning to balance my aspect of it, set my boundaries while still remaining an empathetic soul. So I stood there staring at the motherfucker for a minute because I assumed that you want attention. So here's the attention that you need, motherfucker. And as I'm doing that, he's lost, but he had no outbursts. It's him trying to balance his hyperactivity. And I see all this as I just sit there and watch, I observe. You move lightly with your triggers, especially when you're just trying these things and it's new to you. I saw him go in his pocket. He had some Reese's in there. He had a bad cough. I got to Flatbush Station and I end up giving this guy a Vicks drop. Get you one. Those things are amazing and strong. Vicks, you know them. They're amazing. And I gave him some candy that I had brought home for my lady because magically that's what I'm on. My spirit is naturally empathetic. So even though I humanly face triggers, I still have that empathy in me. That's me being who I am. And so can you. You can develop that aspect too. Like, we're not dicks. We don't have to be that. You can be a genuine asshole. You feel me? Just understand that the asshole aspect is people that haven't been checked before will feel confrontational. Like I told my mom the other day, I said, a long time ago, shout outs to Mom Dukes. I'm like, you're very disrespectful. And logically speaking, you can't be respectful without being disrespectful. You can't just hug one side. The same way you greet your positive, greet your negative. The same way you greet your wins, greet your losses, right? But anywho, set some boundaries. And what you can do is set some boundaries internally first, and then practice that motherfucker. Take a deep breath as you get your point across so people can be receptive. Learn how to speak, learn how to communicate. How many times have I had conversations with artificial intelligence on different communication skills, soft skills, learning how to speak, how to influence friends, Dave Carnegie, I believe, and 16 lessons of success, learning that the most successful people learn how to communicate your boundaries. So people not more so don't cross you, but you don't cross yourself and contaminate yourself by not saying nothing. And it happens. You have to not say nothing so you can say something. It's only right. That's how it works. So set your boundaries. Because, lacking boundaries can make you susceptible to attracting narcissists. Okay, these factors may make individuals more likely to overlook red flags or tolerate unhealthy behaviors from narcissistic partners. And also, narcissistic partners love this shit. And you have to ask yourself too, do you love it? Are you enjoying it? Is 50% of you enjoying narcissism and 50% of you not? Like, you have to look at yourself like this and ask these questions, because honestly speaking, that's the shadow work. That's the reflection. Shout outs to my lady for teaching me about that. That's the shadow work. You have to put in the fucking work. You have to, right? Now, let's move on to the next question. How can understanding narcissism help informing healthier relationships and avoiding toxic dynamics? Understanding narcissism can help informing healthier relationships by enabling individuals to set boundaries. Set your fucking boundaries. Don't let that motherfucker grab your juice and you wasn't done drinking it, but because he feels entitled because he bought you the fucking juice, he can do that to you. And don't do it to him. Come on, man. You're a reflection of yourself. Whatever you're getting, you're giving. Trust me and believe it. It's either you got used to getting it and giving it, and now you're reflecting and no longer want to give it, but you're still getting it, and now you're trying to challenge this and confront this, because there's something that you have to explore here, an accomplishment, an achievement, yeah, a feat. You know what I'm saying? Not regular feat, F-E-A-T, defeat, feat. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, recognizing manipulative tactics. It starts with you. It starts with you. Start to notice them in yourself. Get comfortable. You'll never be able to fully notice it in others if you don't notice it in yourself. If you just notice it in others, self-sabotaging, you're only focusing on who has it when you have it. You think motherfuckers just get STDs? Oh, no, you got syphilis. No, motherfucker, you got it too. One of y'all got it. One of y'all gave it. Another topic. Protect yourself, or just be monogamous like I am, me and my lady. Okay. And prioritize their own well-being. So recognize things and start thinking about yourself. This all goes back to self-awareness, self-reflection, and self-care. You got to start giving a fuck about yourself, man, genuinely. And I mean the right way. Learn to be open to hurt. And that's open to being uncomfortable in situations where you have to transmute it so you can be a better you. Do this for you, or the spirit that you love and appreciate, right? Okay. It also helps in avoiding toxic dynamics by empowering individuals to walk away from relationships that are emotionally harmful and detrimental. Now, motherfuckers be like dickmatized and pussymatized, whatever the fuck that means, hypnotized by aspect of sexual actions when you need to learn some type of discipline. Sex is not everything. We live in a world today where sex is like shaking someone's hand, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you like that? Stop. Yeah? Stop that slutty behavior. If you went through that and now you're at a space where you're still, you're subconsciously being a part of these behaviors and you're not seeing your blessings, you can't manifest a new job. Some people wonder why they can't manifest their desires or new things. It's not only because you don't understand the law of detachment. Motions Made Easier help you with that too. But it's not only that. It's the idea that you have so much emotional muck and you're okay with that. Some of you motherfuckers sit in quicksand with a rope next to you, and a motherfucker acts like he's helping you, but won't even show you the rope, and you won't even show yourself the rope, and it's right next to you. So we got to get to a space, right, where we have to let go of things that is emotionally harming us just because we're trying to keep up with that high school fantasy or the popular guy. Where are the popular guys now? Those are the motherfuckers that ended up being the narcissists. The entitlement, the delusional grandeur, need to be popular, you know what I'm saying? And some popular guys are cool. But it's the idea of you having a wound and just cutting yourself more as if you're not hurting yourself. Stop, please. Stop, yeah? Now, what's the next question? What red flags should women look out for to protect themselves from potential narcissistic partners? Red flags that women should look out for to protect themselves from potential narcissistic partners include a lack of empathy. If he doesn't really give a fuck about you and he can just subconsciously just be shiesty, I would question the relationship, because every woman is seeking love. Every human being is seeking love. I don't think that any human being should not receive empathy. That's why I handle things like I do. And that's why people respect me for it, because I respect myself for being empathetic and loving towards my spirit. I don't ignore it. Okay, so constant need for admiration. A lot of motherfuckers need you to boost their ego. Listen, a lot of motherfuckers is sitting there draining y'all energy. You know who the fuck I'm talking about. I'm talking about those motherfuckers probably. If you're not, then you're not. Good for you. But, shout outs to you. But a lot of men are draining your energy just to keep up with a lifestyle that they're really not. And then when they hit rock bottom, they come back to drain your energy source because they have no structure. They're not meticulous with being a man. They haven't actually self-reflected. Read The Ways of a Superior Man, or make that motherfucker read it by David, forgot his last name, but make them read it. Nipsey and Lauren was big on that book, because men have to understand that being superior has nothing to do with being domineering, right? It has nothing to do with constant need for admiration. What are you lacking that you can't give yourself gratification and validation? Motherfuckers don't hear themselves and they don't sit with themselves. These are the motherfuckers that constantly need to be around friends. These are the motherfuckers that constantly need to get a new girl to show that he gets bitches. He's Mr. Bitches. It's played out. And a lot of you motherfuckers at 65 still doing the same shit, pulling up just to see if you still got it. Cut that shit out and find yourself, because I believe that you can. I refuse to become one of you guys. But you'll find out here or in the do-what. Okay. Manipulation, aggression. Aggression is a big deal, right? If a man is assertive, not aggressive, I know what aggression is. I faced a lot of aggression when I grew up in the streets. Not more so the streets like you might think, but everybody's in the streets, technically. But it's the idea of thinking that the only way to solve situations is through aggression, when in actuality, that's hyper masculine. You need to learn yourself a little bit, men, and understand that, listen, I just sit and I observe motherfuckers, because I don't know who motherfuckers is. And they respect me for it subconsciously, because I speak to your spirit. A lot of you motherfuckers are too aggressive. Relax and take a breath. Meditate in the morning, breathe. Meditate at night. You need to slow down your vibration, because you're not used to managing and balancing your emotions. Emotional intelligence, emotional awareness, self-awareness, Emotions Made Easy can help you. A lot of our clients go through that shit too. Call in. 10 minutes is all you need. A month, mental detox, spiritual cleanse, aura maintenance is all you need. It's just like the cleansers that you guys take. You need to cleanse your soul of this, because your soul is not fucking with it. Your spirit is not fucking with it. You can't get wealthy genuinely and enjoy the happiness and the serendipity in it if you don't do this. Yeah? Okay, what else we got? Paying attention, okay, and a tendency to blame others for their problems. The biggest deal behind anger is blaming something or someone for your issues, not holding yourself accountable. So women, men, start to hold yourself accountable. And if you see a man that is quick to blame you, you need to leave that motherfucker right where he is. Yeah? Or look into yourself and find out why the fuck you're attracting it. Okay? And stop trauma bonding and saying, well, he did this and he did that, and start relating and challenging yourself to hold yourself accountable. You got to. You have to. Because you hold yourself accountable when you win. Hold yourself accountable when you're fucking losing. It's all a state of mind. It's perception. Men are not ruined by things. They're ruined by their perception of it. Remember that. Okay? Paying attention to these warning signs can help women avoid getting entangled in toxic relationships. A lot of you motherfuckers like toxic. At this point, toxic sells. Listen, toxic to me is satire. That's how I am. Me and my lady, we laugh at shit like that. The men around me, my boy Phil, Eli, these guys are genuine. AJ, Joel, genuine motherfuckers that laugh at these toxic aspects of relationships. The younger guys are still learning, but I love the idea of them being real with themselves. Like, okay, that's toxic. You feel me? So it's like, once you can be aware and hold yourself accountable, you're way further. And your reflections will lead to self-growth and self-development eventually, right? So shout outs to those guys, love. And shout outs to the people that actually don't really have they've grown through toxic relationships and understand that you're going to end up having a kid. You're going to fuck raw at one point because you love this person. You're intimate. And when you have that kid, you don't want to grow that kid up into that foundation. And understand this, a lot of your local shootings and a lot of your hyper-masculine crimes come from no father in the house. They come from toxic relationships, vice versa. Everybody gets their accountability. So change that. Okay, let's wrap this shit the fuck up. Appreciate you for staying around and learning about this stuff because you need it. What steps can individuals take to prioritize self-love and break the cycle of attracting narcissistic partners for a healthier and happier future? Honestly speaking, call Emotions Made Easy. If you feel like it's urgent, call. All of our clients, I have most clients that go through this, right? Even women. Shout out to them for holding themselves accountable and using an outlet like Emotions Made Easy to actually change their ways and make life better for their offspring and break these generational curses, right? What you can do is this: develop self-awareness, right? Recognizing patterns in past relationships and understanding one's own vulnerabilities can help individuals identify why they may have been drawn to narcissistic partners in the past. Being aware of these patterns is the first step towards breaking them. You have to be aware. So a lot of meditation, a lot of journaling, a lot of voice notes, a lot of Emotions Made Easy. Get to work, because that's the only way you're going to be able to manifest your desires and actually enjoy them. You feel me? When you detach yourself away from that toxic aspect of things. Yeah? Set boundaries. Establishing and enforcing healthy boundaries is essential in relationships. Learning to say no, speaking up for oneself, and not tolerating disrespectful behavior can help deter narcissistic individuals who thrive on manipulation and control. So you need to set your boundaries with yourself first, mental telepathy. Because if you can see this, you're broadcasting energy that you have within you. So set your boundaries with yourself. Whenever you feel like you want to be a fucked up person or manipulate, stop it. Go journal. Go sit with yourself. Breathe through any aspect of aggression and needs to comfortably and casually be a narcissist or be manipulative. Breathe through that so you can attract the right partner. Invest in self-care. Practicing self-care activities such as an exercise, meditation, therapy, Emotions Made Easy, or hobbies can help individuals cultivate self-love and boost self-esteem. Taking care of one's physical, emotional, and mental well-being is crucial in building resilience against toxic relationships. A lot of people want to be confident, but don't nobody want to do the work. That's the thing. You got to get good at doing the work. And even myself, involvement equals evolution. I'm still learning. Even someone as positive as myself, you keep learning. This never ends. It's limitless. You have to understand, like the movie where he popped the pill and everything came back to him. You magically know this. You're getting back to your kid life. You're getting back to the times of not being a narcissist because you just wanted to play with toys. You didn't know. I just wanted to play San Andreas. I didn't know shit about narcissism. I didn't even know what the fuck an avocado was, right? So you're getting back to that childlike mindset, that spirit, that authentic spirit as you human in empathetic and loving ways. So therapy is beautiful. Try Emotions Made Easy. Quick, calm, easy, simple, nice voice note session, phone call, monthly, mental detox. Get your shit right because you deserve to. Okay. Surround yourself with supportive people. I'm going to read it again. Surround yourself with supportive people. Building a strong support system of friends, family, or a therapist can provide validation, encouragement, and perspective. Stop trauma bonding with narcissists. You not only attract the motherfucker you're dating as a narcissist because you are one, you attract friends that are okay with this shit. And now you're just trauma bonding based on, oh, well, he did this, he did. What about solutions? Focus on solutions. And sometimes solutions hurt. The truth hurts. Okay. Surrounding yourself with people who respect and value them value you can reinforce positive self-worth. Start hanging around motherfuckers from a selective space. As you grow and go through high school, you don't have the same friends you have in college, in high school. You got to understand and you got to want to grow up. And I say that from a space of start to look into yourself to the point where now your friendships are not looking like the past. It's looking like people that actually care about you and want to talk to you genuinely and say, hey, listen, cut this bullshit out in a very genuine and loving and receptive way. Gives you a wake-up call. Because genuinely speaking, you need that. Because it may be the friends around you pushing and keeping that and enabling that and keeping that going because they're in their own situation and that loop continues. You want to kill that. Kill that generational curse within aspects of your DNA so it doesn't pass along to your kids. Educate yourself about narcissism like you're watching this video now. Understanding the traits and the behaviors of narcissistic individuals can help individuals recognize warning signs early on in a relationship and saves you draining, saves you time, or even having a fucking kid with a narcissist. Now you're going through the child support system and, oh, fuck, the child's affected. That's the most important. In your heart, in his heart, probably. It empowers them to make informed decisions and protect themselves from potential emotional harm. Start to learn more about the stuff that you have. I learned that I had to define fear to actually beat it. Fear is an aspect of anticipation, and also it comes from hyperactivity with no action. You have to understand how to transcend that and overcome it. Is patience is adaptive, and learn to maneuver through your triggers and your fears. You can overcome it because you've always overcome it. Ain't no not overcoming without overcoming. Trust me, it's polarities, two sides. Kabbalion. Practice assertiveness and communication skills. Assertive communication involves expressing your thoughts, feelings, and needs in a clear and respectful manner. Developing these skills can help individuals assert themselves in relationships and avoid being manipulated or controlled by narcissistic partners. By taking these steps, individuals can prioritize self-love, set healthier boundaries, and break the cycle of attracting narcissistic partners. This journey towards self-awareness and personal growth can lead to more fulfilling and mutually respectful relationships in the future. So, just to wrap things up, practice being assertive and not aggressive. Practice communicating and not talking at people. If you want people to hear you genuinely and lovingly, you need to hear you and respond to you genuinely and lovingly and be receptive towards self-care and self-love. It's time to get active. Excuse me. If you're having issues with this, go to blackraps.com, WRAPZ.com and click Emotions Made Easy. And I help you and others help you. We're like friends. I'm not a therapist. I'm not into psychotherapist I'm not a psychologist. I'm not any of that. Not even a life coach. I want to be your friend. I decided to purposely not get those certifications just to be authentically me. I'm just here to help you validate yourself in a genuine way and help you relate from a space of understanding, validation, and gratification. It's time to go up. We're in a space where the self-care and the self-love is what's creating the wealth. You got to understand. The more you care about yourself is the more you attract care, love. That beautiful car you probably wanted, that beautiful open closet you wanted, that beautiful relationship with your daughter, your son, your mom, your father, yourself. It's time to dive in. Much peace, much love. Check out Emotions Made Easy. We do a lot of things in relevance to this, and a lot of our clients have had a lot of success in beating narcissism or getting out of it or escaping it genuinely and creating a better life for them. So much love, Much peace. Fuck yeah. Subscribe. YouTube is here. Shout outs to you guys for being loving. And stay away from narcissists. And if you're attracting it, look within yourself, motherfucker. Look within yourself and stop using sex to cope. And that's it. Yeah.